My goodness gracious, instead of procrastinating and trying to find a way to clone yourself, we should be making a game plan for studying. And by the way, this video is sponsored by Grammarly. So come on, we can actually try to do something here and salvage the situation. Your grades aren't dying on me today.
So the first part of the game plan is learning everything you can about the exam and the format and making sure that you are 100% sure about it, because it's definitely important to know what you're getting into when it comes to last minute preparation. So if it's open book and I'm using a physical textbook, then what I like to do is make an index guide, so a piece of paper that I'll put in the beginning of the textbook where I'll write down the names of the chapters and the main subtopics under each chapter and what page numbers they're on so that I can quickly flip to them. I'll also use little page flags to mark the beginning of each chapter and write down the number of the chapter on top of the page flags. If I know a question is from chapter 7, I can just quickly flip to chapter 7 and not have to search through it through the textbook. So chances are the exam is closed book, and in that case, it's important to know, is it only multiple choice questions? Are there true/false questions? Are there any essay questions? Or is it only an essay-based exam, etc.? And also if your class has any practice exams, if your professors provided them to you. And then also what % of the material will be in the exam. Will chapter 1 be only 10%, or will it be equally divided between all the chapters? Knowing these things can help you decide what to do next and what's the best strategy to maximize your grade and hopefully not fail. So right now is definitely one of the busiest times of the school year, for me at least. There's midterms and exams coming up, and if you're like me and struggling to balance all your assignments and studying for midterms, I highly recommend downloading Grammarly. So Grammarly is a digital writing assistant, and it is an all-in-one writing tool that improves your productivity and saves you time when you have multiple assignments to complete. And it's free to download and easy to integrate into your daily life as a browser extension through Chrome, Safari, Firefox, etc. And the great thing about it is that you can also use it in Google Docs to help you save time and work more efficiently. So Grammarly's free features include the setting goal feature, which ensures that you're writing to the right audience, so you can adjust which goals you have for your writing style. Grammarly's free word count feature also allows you to see how many words you've typed. And one of my favorite features is the sorry, not the cinnamon feature, which would be cool, but the synonym feature, which allows you to replace your overused words, since I tend to use the same words over and over again, and change your text so it sounds more professional. So yeah, I overall use Grammarly every single day for all my emails, for all of my assignments, and it is by far my most used study tool for literally everything. So with midterms and assignments piling up, succeed in school with tools like Grammarly. It's free, why not? Go to grammarly.com/studytosuccess to sign up for a free account. And if you'd like to get extra features, upgrade to Grammarly Premium for 20% off to help you save time and work more efficiently. So if the exam is a memorization-based multiple choice exam, I like to first do a practice test to just see, okay, how bad is my score if I don't study at all? If you have a practice test. If you don't have a practice test, then you can just skip this part. But yeah, so I'll do a quick practice test or just go over one of the old tests and see how I did and which areas I'm good at, which chapters I'm good at, skim through the notes I have and which chapters I'm familiar with and which chapters are most likely to tank my grade. So my number one priority here is to maximize my grades. So the general goal for cramming is to cover as much volume as possible so that the chances are when I see certain words in the multiple choice answers or even the phrasing of the questions that it will trigger a memory of something that I read the previous day so that I have a higher chance of getting those questions right rather than just never having read them at all. So since there's so little time, I prioritize the chapters that I have absolutely no idea about and that I would probably get a 25% on, really, and don't go over as much the ones that I'm pretty comfortable with and I think I could get, you know, an 80 or 90% on. So right now, the most important thing is time efficiency and moving as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. So instead of reading the entire chapter, I read the outlines at the end of the chapter. If you don't have them at the end of the chapter, you also can usually type in the name of your textbook into Google and then just write outline afterwards. And chances are somebody probably already uploaded to the internet, so you can just use those outlines if you don't want to use the ones at the end of the chapters or there aren't any at the end of the chapters. So normally when I'm studying for an exam, I like to write down things, but if I'm really cramming for exam and it's the day before, I honestly don't really have time anymore for that. So what I do instead is I will just maximum highlight things in the textbook if you can, or in your notes, or on the outlines. And also something else that I've recently, the past year, been using a lot more is Quizlet or any other flashcard apps because it's a lot faster than taking handwritten notes. And usually chances are there are pre-saved definitions to the words. So if you type in a word from your textbook, a vocab word, then chances are that Quizlet will autofill the answer in and save you time from actually typing everything out so that it's faster for you to then test yourself later. If the exam is essay-based or just an essay, because I've had exams like that before, then I would see if the professor gave any hints to which topics could come up, and chances are they usually do at least give a list of topics that might be on the exam. And then after that, I would write out a very basic outline for each of the potential topics, and then just write down some names, facts, places, and just basically make a very rough outline of what you would write for the essay. And last but not least, if it's a math or science exam, then I recommend just doing lots of practice questions and really sticking at this point to your strengths and making sure that you would get 100% on the topics that you're comfortable with. If you're struggling a lot with math or science, it's gonna take longer than one day to really understand and be able to do the questions. Better just stick with your strengths and just pray that you can guess well on the other ones and at least get a really solid score on the questions that you're familiar with.
Look! Say what's my name? Look!
Yeah. Wow. You're so good at selfies, right? Why are you falling down? Is that funny?
Oh, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell. Oh, jingle bell.